out exclusively on my Facebook with my friends and family until I had to delete it because all of them were accusing me of being schizophrenic from showing them things just like this. And I thought, God, what a bunch of dummies. They still all think I'm crazy for questioning 9/11, and now they think I'm schizophrenic now that I'm showing something that's way beyond coincidence. Even when I first started, I didn't have hardly a fraction of what I do now because I've been researching 8 years straight. But I still had enough to make a good argument in the beginning. And again, I had people calling me schizophrenic for showing this. I mean, how can you think that this is a coincidence? You have to be so dumb, and that's what most people are. Again, Jesus is 74, cross 74, Messiah 74, gospel 74, parable 74. Who would code that into the language? From the very beginning, the word Jewish is 74. They say Jesus was Jewish. The English translation of Jesus is Joshua. Joshua 74. People threw arguments at me. See, I guess that's how I kind of probably figured out at first that the Oregon thing was a good example to show. People were responding like that I was either schizophrenic or it was just a coincidence or probably a lot of things added up to that. And I just thought, no, I've been writing down in a notebook, not everything just adds up to 74, but all those words do. And again, just to get that list up there. Jesus, cross, Messiah, gospel, parables, Jewish, Joshua. All of those things are related. This is a Hebrew practice, a Jewish practice going back to, the Hebrew language, right? Thousands of years, much older than English. It's about bringing words and numbers, words that have the matching numerical value and natural relationships together. All of these things have a natural relationship. Jesus, cross, Messiah, gospel's the story of Jesus, parables is how Jesus spoke. They say he's from Judea, so, in English, Jewish. And then the English translation of Jesus is Joshua, which is also 74. And again, that's not even his real biblical name. So it was manipulated to that. And then, lo and behold, this practice, English is 74, Gematria is 74, right? What's the big English city? London, 74. What's this nation's birthday? Holy Day, holiday 74. This nation's birthday is 7/4, when we supposedly got free from London, England, right? And again, the only other cipher I knew in the beginning was the alphabetic order of the rules of numerology, the dark blue one. Independence Day, 74. I mean, these are the things I was showing to people and getting ridicule from. I just ended up deleting my whole Facebook page. I was like, fuck it, man. There's only 2 people on here worth knowing. I don't want to know any of you, man. The rest of you are just pissing me off. I don't need to have anything to do with any of you anymore. I'll share this information with people who might get it. And, I started the blog, and then once I got confident enough with it, I started making, videos about it. And, but the point I was going to make is what I was showing people is out of the 50 states, if you go through the 50 states with these, the only 2 ciphers I knew, you only get 1 state that equals 50. Because I already had people making the argument back then, 2 ciphers? Now you can probably just connect whatever you want. It's just like, okay, another retarded argument. But out of the 50 states, only 1 sums to 74. Oregon. Only Oregon. 1 out of 50. That's 2%. So, that list of words with Jesus, if you wanted to say that 1 in 50 words equaled 74, which is not true. Somebody ran the statistical analysis. It's less than 1% of words have the same gematria value. So a fraction of a percent times 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 a fraction of a percent. That's how you find the probability. That's how it works. If you take probability, you learn that to find if something has 50% odds and 50% odds, what's the probability of it going this way and this way? Those 2 outcomes you want. Well, 50% times 50% becomes 25%. So 1 in 4 chance. Smaller and smaller. Every time you do it, it would get smaller and smaller. Again, this stuff lining up the way it does is improbable. And for all the people that make these just bogus arguments and just say some, nonsensical thought and then write off something that they really do need to know. I mean, the people of the world need to know this. Not they want to know it or they need to know it. The reason they need to know it is because then they can see how they're being lied to every day and how they're being controlled